All right, we're gonna go through the app. We've got our D1x shifter, the D1x remote. Shifter's linked up to this box one, and then we got our Android phone right here just ready to fire up for us. So press and hold the tack switch for a sec here, and the shifter turns on. Green light. That green light is the battery indicator, so it indicates solid green means we're doing well. Red flashing light on that shifter means we are not paired with anybody yet. So what we'll do is we'll go to the app, and you'll see D1x shifter. Go ahead and tap on that. Now Android doesn't ask for a confirmation, but iOS does. Either way, when you get to this screen, it means everything's connected. Those little green battery indicators, that's a good sign. That means that we're getting positive data from the shifter. We know what's happening here. So we're going to go through the settings first. Click on the little gear icon. You see a couple different options. We'll go one by one. Quick shift setup. Quick shift setup, this is a option to have multiple gears changed when you hold the remote buttons for a longer period. So we got to turn it on first, and once you turn it on, all the options are active. Your delay, short to long, basically means how long do I have to hold that button before quick shift is activated. So we can go ahead and get towards the middle. I find short to be a little too short for me. The long being way too long. Anyway, upshift and downshift jump, we can tell you how many gears you're going to go. I like to jump out 3 when I'm going down and 2 when I'm going out. So that's quick shift. Going back, pairing the remote. So this remote right here is unpaired to anybody. To pair the remote, you click on pair remote. There's a couple of warnings here. Basically what's going to happen is the shifter is going to shut down. You can watch that green light stop flashing here. And there it goes. The shifter has been shut down and the app is exited. Now, when I press and hold this guy to turn it on, it's going to flash orange. Orange means that it is trying to pair. Now if you go over your phone, you'll see that it shows up as D1x pairing. Don't touch that. Go over to your remote. Press and hold either remote button to turn the remote on. The remote flashes orange, and now the remote and the shifter are uniquely paired. So anytime you've turned these both on, they will talk automatically. Now they're both on, so you can see in our app, oops, hold on, go away. You can see in our app that the D1x does not show up anymore on our app. That's because these guys are connected and pairing. You can see the green light means he's connected to the remote. So what we'll do is we're going to turn the shifter off. Wait about 7 seconds. Light will go red. That means it's going into shutdown. Now, check this out. The remote is going to sense that. It starts flashing green. That means it's saying, hey, I'm not connected to anybody. I'm looking. Waits about 15 seconds, and then it'll go red, and then the remote will shut off. Okay, now, turn that shifter back on. Red light means that it's looking for someone to pair with. Get your phone going back again here. And now you can see we've got a D1x E896F2. That is the unique ID of that remote. So now, this is how I'm going to access my shifter. Let's go back and do some more settings. Okay, change shifter cable. So if I ever need to change that shifter cable, move that thing out, we're going to go to change shifter cable. What's going to happen is that we're going to move the little nut inside there all the way to the end. You can see these things are tricky to get off. With one hand holding the video. There we go. And you can see that that nut is all the way at the top end. And if it wasn't connected to that derailleur, I'd be able to pull that shifter cable out and replace it. But for now, we're not going to do that. Anyway, let's go back to it. Reverse shift button. So this is kind of sneaky. If you want your shift buttons to be downshift and upshift and reverse the order, you can go ahead and do that with the reverse shift button. Low power mode, if you really are into saving battery life and you're looking for 50 hours of runtime, turn on low power mode. You'll notice that when you turn on low power mode, Get Me Home Gear and auto shutdown are automatically set to off. They no longer work. And now if I'm in low power mode, I have to turn off my shifter directly using the tactile switch every time I want to turn it off. Otherwise it's just going to run forever. I like to leave low power mode off because I have small children, and when I come home from a ride, there is no time to be playing around with my shifter or my bike or anything. It's drop your gear and get in there. All right, Get Me Home Gear. Let's check this out. We got to turn it on to make it active. Now what this is going to do is you're going to select the gear that you want the shifter to move to in the event that you run out of batteries. So I want to have a gear that I can get up some hills, I can get my butt home if I run out of batteries. So the last dying breath of that shifter is to move it into this gear and then shut it down. Once you set up your Get Me Home Gear, hit done and go back. Auto shutdown timer. This, if the bike is stable for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes, then the shifter will shut down. I like to keep mine at about 15. That way if I stop on the trail and I'm chatting somebody up, my shifter doesn't turn off on me. Alright, so all that is good. Those are my settings. I can go back over and I can update my configuration or do a new configuration. I think I have this guy configured a little bit. Let's see if I can go through the gears here. Let's see, gear 1. Yeah, alright. Now you'll notice that number down there on the screen is changing. It's 220 and now it goes to 300. So what that's doing is that's really just showing us where we are along the measuring device. So we can set each one of our gears. You can see the shifter is pulling the cable and my box 1 is extending out. Once I've got all those set up, I can do, or if I want to adjust those rather, I can hit the double arrow button in either direction or the single arrow to get micro adjustments. Once it's set, you're done, and that's about it, man. That's the app.